An arrest in a decade-old case of a serial killer.
It's a shocker. 29 years. This is the worst case I've ever seen.
Police take a husband and father of two into custody, accusing him of the Gilgo Beach murders. 10 victims killed just outside of New York City. The suspect charged with 3 counts of murder tonight, what police say led them to him. Plus,
I get this phone call, and it was this woman asking to speak to Stephanie, and I said, this is her, and she just tells me she's been having an affair with my husband for the last 18 months.
adulterers exposed. The massive internet hack that exposed millions of cheaters who had been using a dating website that specializes in affairs. And
I was just letting people know how my new normal is now, you know, and just how I reflect and how I see things and how I move differently and just different observations in life as far as, you know, with just, you know, being a black man in America.
Getting laughs for his new normal. I talk with comedian Deon Cole about his stand-up show and the future of comedy. Good evening. I'm Phil Lipoff in for Lindsay Davis tonight. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We are following those stories and, of course, a lot more, including production on pause, actors, and now joining writers on strike, making for the biggest walkout in entertainment in more than 60 years. What it will take to get cameras in action again. Plus, new video of an escaped prisoner who has been on the run for more than a week. The footage that shows him limping as he walks. And an arrest linked to the suspected drug-related death of Robert De Niro's grandson. Our correspondents are fanned out across the country covering this all for us tonight. But we are going to begin with the stunning arrest in a string of killings on New York's Long Island known as the Gilgo Beach murders. And the shocking revelation for neighbors that the killer was in their midst all along. Starting in 2010, the remains of 11 people were found along a remote stretch of Long Island's Gilgo Beach. Most of them were young women who had been sex workers. Tonight, Rex Heuermann, a 59-year-old architect and father of 2, is under arrest. Authorities took him into custody in Manhattan last night at his Fifth Avenue office. This is some new dramatic video of that arrest. Investigators were at his Long Island home this morning, and court documents reveal he had been under investigation for more than a year, but the breakthrough came by matching DNA from a pizza box. What other clues did investigators have? Senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky leads us off tonight from Long Island with more on this sprawling investigation.
Rex, did you do it?
Tonight, after more than a decade of terrorizing quiet communities on Long Island, police say the Gilgo Beach serial killer is a suburban dad and architect charged with murdering women he secretly solicited for sex.
Rex Heuermann is a demon that walks among us.
Prosecutors say 59-year-old Rex Heuermann, an architect in New York City and father of 2, killed 3 women, Melissa Bartholome, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello, and is now the prime suspect in the death of a 4th, Maureen Brainerd Barnes. Their bodies, each wrapped in burlap, discovered in a wooded area along the beach within a quarter mile of one another in December 2010.
For the next 13 years, their cases went unsolved until today.
In court today, Heuermann pleading not guilty. Heuermann was taken into custody at 8:30 p.m. Thursday at his Fifth Avenue firm in Manhattan. This morning, investigators in white forensic suits converging on Heuermann's home in Massapequa Park, not far from where the bodies were found. The investigation going cold until last year, when detectives linked Heuermann to a Chevrolet Avalanche a witness reported seeing when one of the women vanished. They also connected him to burner cell phones used to arrange meetings with 3 of the 4 victims.
Whenever the target phones would bounce off a cell tower, if the Heuermann personal phone bounced off a tower, it was always consistent and in close proximity with the target phones.
Prosecutors say Heuermann was keeping tabs on them, using those phones to make more than 200 searches about the investigation. Detectives say another clue came from pizza crust, taken from the garbage, matching DNA profiles from hair samples found on the victims. Today, this YouTube video from more than a year ago resurfacing of Heuermann discussing his firm.
Okay. Rex Heuermann, I'm an architect, I'm an architectural consultant, I'm a troubleshooter, born and raised on Long Island.
Tonight, neighbors filling the streets around his house, shocked to learn the suspected serial killer lived among them.
They never really were out. I used to see the wife come up and down the block with the car, but that's about it.
Ali Pertel, the sister of victim Megan Waterman, speaking to ABC's Portland, Maine affiliate WMTW.
It's bittersweet because I know the details of her death. It is such a relief that we do know who it was and that it will come to an end eventually.
And Aaron joins me now. Aaron, as you said, they've been investigating these cold case murders for more than 10 years. I remember how this gripped the entire area. And this came down to a car, burner phones, fake email accounts, and pizza crust.
Amazing, Phil. They went digging through the garbage outside the office in Manhattan where Huerman worked. They pulled out the pizza crust to try and get a DNA sample. They also used complicated cell phone analytics, and they're still pulling evidence out of the home here to make sure they have the right person, Phil.
Yeah, and you mentioned he's now the prime suspect in a fourth murder, and authorities, you say, were really concerned that other people might be in danger.
Huerman was still allegedly using burner phones to contact sex workers and to search for child pornography online. So prosecutors said they authorized this arrest before anybody else could get hurt. The Gilgo Beach murders involve 10 bodies that were found over a year's time, 2010 through 2011. So police tonight, Phil, said that this investigation is far from over.
Yeah, remarkable police work. Aaron Katursky, thank you so much. We'll go now to Hollywood, which is ground to a halt as actors have joined the writers already on strike. It's the first time both groups have been on strike at the same time in more than 60 years. So what are they pushing for? Here's ABC's Matt Gutman.
On strike, tonight, both sides digging in on day one of that historic shutdown that threatens to paralyze Hollywood.
There are no excuses. Right now, you're being greedy and inhumane. And that's that.
Union power! Early this morning, the 160,000 members of the SAG-AFTRA union joining the already striking Writers Guild. The last time Hollywood actors and writers on strike at the same time was 1960. What do we want? Actors picketing on both coasts, including Ted Lasso's Jason Sudeikis and Susan Sarandon, who joined the protests in New York, supporting the majority of actors who do not make a living wage from acting.
I think our message is really resonating. There's a lot of people, even beyond our membership, who are kind of fed up with big corporations trying to just run roughshod over everybody.
The SAG-AFTRA members demanding regulations for artificial intelligence in productions, higher wages, and increased residual pay, which is essential to many of them keeping health insurance.
You've experienced being knocked off of health insurance?
Yeah, 1 year I was $50 short. We're working class. Not everybody can do this full time and make a living. So for them to pinch pennies, for them to not want to share the wealth, is really problematic.
The association representing studios and streamers saying they offer the actors historic pay and residual increases and protections for actors' digital likenesses from AI, but that their offer was rejected.
Matt joins us from Los Angeles now. Matt, where are we already seeing some of the effects of this shutdown? And I know you don't have a crystal ball, but everybody wants to know how long this thing could go on.
I wish I did have one, but obviously nobody quite knows. But perhaps the last actor strike in 1980 might be a reference. That lasted for over 3 months, and you may have been able to tell from our piece that people we talked to, they're really dug in here. And we are already starting to see some ripple effects. Actors walking out on their own film premieres, broadcast networks saying they're going to run more reruns and reality shows this coming fall. Big productions, reportedly like Deadpool 3, Mission Impossible, coming to a halt because of the strike. And just moments ago, LA's Mayor Karen Bass concerned about the economic impact of this strike, urging both sides to get back to the negotiating table. Phil.
All right, and so it continues tonight. Matt Gutman from Los Angeles. Matt, thank you. For the latest on the dual strikes, I'm joined now by Jonathan Handel, a writer for Puck, who previously served as an outside special counsel to SAG-AFTRA and on the legal staff of the Writers Guild of America. Jonathan, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate your insight into this. Just for starters, give us a sense of the mood of both the actors and the writers and what this is doing to their communities.
The mood was extraordinary. I mean, it's just electric. The actors have flooded the zone. Their union is 15 times the size of the Writers Guild, and that was evident in quantity, and the enthusiasm was unbridled. It sounded like every car for a mile around was honking its horn in sympathy over at Warner Brothers in Burbank. 95-degree temperatures. It is very much a hot labor summer.
I'm sure you saw Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, which is the parent company of ABC News, said in an interview with CNBC that these strikes could not come at a worse time for the entertainment business. And he went on to say this.
We managed as an industry to negotiate a very good deal with the Directors Guild that reflects the value that the directors contribute to this great business. We wanted to do the same thing with the writers, and we'd like to do the same thing with the actors. There's a level of expectation that they have that is just not realistic.
So, Jonathan, in your opinion, what's the difference here? Why was a deal possible with the directors, but we see this big divide when it comes to a deal with both the writers and the actors?
The directors took a less assertive approach than the writers and actors have, but it's with all due respect to Bob Iger, it's a little rich to see someone who's at a summer camp for the rich, for the wealthy executives, whose new contract, his 2-year extension, includes a success bonus, as most executive contracts do. And yet Iger has objected, among other things, to the concept of a success bonus in residuals, in royalty replay fees that the actors and writers want to receive when a show is successful on streaming. This kind of the optics, and it's more than optics, the level of income inequality and wealth inequality in this country is reaching a breaking point with these two unions and many others across the country. We can have American innovation with a degree of equality and a degree of a social safety net as well. We don't have to choose one or the other.
The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers put out a statement saying that they, quote, offered an historic pay and residual increases and a groundbreaking AI proposal that protects actors' digital likenesses, and then went on to say that, quote, the union has regrettably chosen a path that will lead to financial hardship for countless thousands of people who depend on the industry. So how much concern is there about the impact of a prolonged strike here, the impact that it could have on the entire Hollywood community?
There's concern about a prolonged strike, and there's concern about a prolonged state of existence where people attempt to put food on the table. And remember, this is not about the big stars that people recognize. They make their millions of dollars negotiated by agents. They are SAG-AFTRA members also. But the issue with the SAG-AFTRA contract, the issue with the strike, is middle class and even working class actors who are trying to keep food on the table, a roof over their heads in the two most expensive cost of living cities in this country. For the AMPTP to call these increases historic and so forth, well, of course they're historic. We had historic inflation over the last 3 years. And so, of course, what the union is asking for is historic, and what the AMPTP is offering is far less than historic, it looks like. Likewise, AI it appears to be at a historic inflection point in the degree to which it threatens workers' jobs. The companies are challenged. Box office is down. Linear television is extremely challenged. The audience is aging and shrinking. And to create a worldwide streaming service to compete with Netflix requires spending money that's very hard to find. But the union response is, if you're going to spend billions of dollars to build a worldwide service for hundreds of millions of people, based on our labor and our work product, we need fair jobs, reliable jobs. We need fair compensation. That's really what's going on here.
All right, Jonathan Handel, covering these strikes for Puck. We thank you so much for your time and expertise. Do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And tonight, more than 90 million Americans remain under heat alerts as dangerously hot conditions remain in place. Phoenix will top 115 degrees this weekend. Death Valley could see temperatures close to 130 degrees. And El Paso, Texas is approaching 30 straight days of 100-degree weather. Matt Rivers is tracking it for us tonight.
Tonight, one of the most intense heat domes on record, sending temperatures soaring. More than 100 million Americans in 16 states under heat alerts. In California, officials keeping an eye on Orange County fairgoers.
We look for folks who might be struggling a little bit, make sure they get in the shade and get hydrated.
Bay Area residents like Cindy Marsh adjusting their routines.
Get things done early and hunker down inside later in the afternoon.
Here in Phoenix, Arizona, it's the 15th straight day at or above 110. The record, 18 days.
Soy corresponsal con ABC News.
We met Raul and Juan, part of a landscaping crew.
Aún ustedes están acostumbrados, es difícil. Even though you're used to this, it's difficult, right?
Juan telling me the heat makes hard work harder. His advice, Start early, take breaks, and drink plenty of water. And it's not just the U.S. Several countries in Europe experiencing triple-digit temperatures. Officials in Greece closing the Acropolis for several hours because of the heat.
Our thanks to Matt Rivers from Phoenix tonight. Let's get right to senior meteorologist Rob Marciano, who is tracking that extreme, possibly record heat this weekend and, of course, all the severe weather. Rob, this is some brutal, dangerous heat.
Very much so, but let's start with the severe. The last 2 days, we saw over 500 damaging storm reports, and some of those, as we saw this morning across the Northeast, have had a lot of rain, and that's certainly not reason to celebrate like they're doing here in Norwalk, although it is a little bit cooler because of the storms. All right, we have a flash flood watch up here because of the rain that we saw this morning and the rain that's going to be coming, and a severe thunderstorm watch now west of Chicago includes Milwaukee and points in parts of Illinois. And Kansas City, you got hit with 60-mile-per-hour winds earlier tonight, and those watches are up for the next couple of hours. And then watch these storms propagate to the east and really then kind of congregate over the Northeast, D.C. up by 95 and through just west of the Delaware River, and then up into Vermont Sunday afternoon. Some of these will have heavy rain again, and the flash flood threat is going to unfortunately continue there. Heat advisories, heat warnings continue as well. Louisiana, Texas, up and through much of California. Palm Springs, 120 expected tomorrow and again on Sunday. Phoenix, your record of 110 or better continues, as does your record of not falling below 90. That's been going on all week long, and that will continue. This is dangerous and debilitating heat, Phil, and of course it's fueled mostly by climate change. Phil?
All right, Rob Marciano, thanks. New video in the hunt for an escaped murder suspect. Police have released new home doorbell camera video that they say shows the suspect walking with a limp around 5 in the morning sometime within the last few days. ABC's Alex Perche in Warren, Pennsylvania again tonight.
Tonight, police releasing this new video, the first glimpse of escaped murder suspect Michael Burham since his jailbreak more than a week ago.
We consider this to be a confirmed sighting.
The image is captured on a Ring doorbell camera not far from the jail in Warren, Pennsylvania. Officers won't say exactly where or exactly when, just that it was early in the morning within the past few days. Burham appearing to head towards the woods.
There is also a possibility that he may have a bit of an injury to his leg or ankle. There may be a bit of a limp there as well.
Authorities believe Burham may have suffered a leg injury during his escape. The 34-year-old rappelling from the roof of the Warren County Jail using a makeshift rope made of bed sheets. Investigators call him a self-taught survivalist who prefers to travel at night. This picture showing supplies they believe he covered with a tarp and stashed under a log.
He is no doubt becoming more desperate and will attempt to acquire the things he needs to survive. I reiterate that Burham is to be considered armed and dangerous, and we ask the public not to approach him.
Phil, police cautious not to reveal any details as to where or when that Ring doorbell footage was taken. They don't want to tip Burham or any possible accomplice off to their investigation, but they do want Burham to know there are more than 200 officers actively looking for him. Phil?
Alex Perche from Ohio tonight. Alex, thank you. So the war in Ukraine going on now for more than 500 days. Tonight, the first U.S. cluster munitions arriving on the front lines. Our James Longman visited a Ukrainian field hospital not far from the front lines, and a warning, what he witnessed there may be difficult to watch.
Tonight, the first U.S. cluster munitions arriving in Ukraine. The controversial weapons are banned in over 120 countries, but the White House provided them with a promise from Ukraine that they won't use them in civilian environments. They'll be deployed in the east in the intensifying counteroffensive. But the effort to push back Russia's huge presence here means Ukraine's casualties are mounting. Not far from the front line, this field hospital springs to action.
This looks like an incredibly serious attack that's happened. 3 men have been brought in, 2 of them are unconscious. You can see this man's left leg, his foot is almost hanging off his body.
As medics rush to revive his friends, Igor gets treatment for a shrapnel wound. A mortar attack hit them in a trench, he says. After more than 500 days of war, this work is vital for Ukraine's survival. Fast treatment so men like Igor can return to the battle as soon as possible.
How long have you been fighting?
7 months, he says.
And how much longer can you fight?
Until we win, he says. What else would all this be for?
And that has been Ukraine's resolve from the very beginning. James joins us now from Ukraine. James, those were chilling scenes from near the front lines. As far as casualties at the clinic you visited, are they seeing more than expected?
Well, yeah, Phil, it did seem that way. The medics we were with did seem surprised at how quickly the injured seemed to be coming in. You saw them there clearing stretchers, making way for the next casualty. I should say tonight, President Zelensky has said how difficult the Ukrainians are finding this counteroffensive. They are meeting heavy Russian resistance. And all the time in those frontline hospitals, they work under the constant threat that Russia could target them too. Phil?
All right, James Longman from Ukraine tonight. James, thank you. Iowa's strict new abortion law is now in effect as a judge weighs whether to put it on hold. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed the measure at a Christian leadership summit in Des Moines. The law bans most abortions, about 6 weeks before, and that's before many women know they are pregnant. A few blocks away from that, a judge heard testimony from the ACLU and Planned Parenthood and said he would decide next week whether to put the law on hold. Biden administration announcing today that it will forgive $39 billion in student loan debts for more than 800,000 borrowers. The Education Department says it's an effort to fix what it calls administrative failures because of errors in tracking payments. Officials says many borrowers have been left paying beyond their payment end dates. The new effort is to fix errors in the system. The loan system comes after President Biden's program to cancel student loan debt was rejected by the Supreme Court last month. There is still much more to get to here tonight on Prime. Coming up, a popular online shopping site is caught up in a RICO investigation, the crimes Shein is accused of committing. And next, it provided a platform for married people looking to have affairs, but it all came crashing down. How a documentary is revealing new truths behind the Ashley Madison scandal and the cyber hacking that started it all.
Somebody wanted us to shut our business down. There was no ransom, so it was a moral play. Shut down your business. Or in essence, I'm going to shut it down for you.
Whenever news breaks.
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas. ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back. A company that proudly promotes itself with the slogan, "Life is short, have an affair," is bound to get some attention, and that's exactly what the dating website Ashley Madison got. The site provides a platform for married people looking to cheat. Combine that with cyber hacking, sex, and shame, and a scandal is revealed, one at the center of a new documentary from ABC Studios.
We had the kids, we had a dog, we had a house, we had it all. There would be these phone calls, and there'd be no one on the other end. I had a Facebook friend request from someone I don't know. It was like all these weird things that were happening that just didn't make sense. What is going on? My husband left to go to the grocery store. And when he was gone, I get this phone call. And it was this woman asking to speak to Stephanie. And I said, this is her. And she just tells me she's been having an affair with my husband for the last 18 months. He had told her, I'm gonna work things out with my wife. And she said, oh, hell no, you're not. And so that's why she called me. I was shaking. I was just, my mouth had gone dry. And when I asked her how they met, she wouldn't tell me. And then for some reason, I just blurted out, was it Ashley Madison? And she said, yeah.
Ashley Madison works from a business model standpoint because their goal is not to get you to leave your marriage. Their goal is for you to have an affair, go back to your marriage, come have another affair.
Our business model has stayed the same since we launched. It's a credit-based system where men come on, purchase a set amount of credits to send messages to women. This was a business in the business of affairs, in the business of adultery. And people were so shocked and surprised that it existed or even had been conceived that, you know, there was a lot of backlash and a lot of pushback from the media.
Controversial dating website
Ashley Madison. Long before I launched Ashley Madison, there were affairs, and long after I'm gone, there'll be affairs. And so what I'm just trying to do is help people have the more perfect affair.
What Ashley Madison were able to do successfully was to become part of the cultural zeitgeist.
SassyMadison.com. It's not cheating if you don't know the person well.
They became the bad boys of love.
Nobody's going to have an affair because they saw a 30-second TV commercial. They have affairs because their life isn't working for them.
Why advertise then?
Because I'm in the business of making money.
In 2009, Ashley Madison claimed to have 2.7 million users, and they were active in 3 territories, Canada, the US, and Ireland. And then they wanted to do what every tech company wants to do, which is scale.
And so they decide to look at Asia for expansion of their brand. And they go to Japan, and within 8 months, they have 1 million subscribers. And now the thought is bingo.
We walked into the office. It's only 9 in the morning, haven't even had a coffee yet. If I recall, it was business as usual.
Some of our teams opened up their laptops, and there was a message.
It was then kind of a full panic mode at that point for the majority of the executives at the very least. And there was a lot of worry at that point.
There wasn't a panic. There wasn't a sense of chaos or confusion. It was very orderly, very serious. Somebody wanted us to shut our business down. There was no ransom. So it was a moral play. Shut down your business. Or in essence, I'm going to shut it down for you.
It became very quickly a sense of not knowing what was up, what was down, you know, were our future secure, what was going to happen.
Impact Team was essentially blackmailing Avid Life Media and saying that if they didn't take down Ashley Madison, they were going to release all of this data on all of their users. basically the most embarrassing possible thing that could happen for a company that marketed itself as being discreet.
There was no way we were shutting down our business. That wasn't going to happen.
There was a month between when they announced the hack and when they had threatened to release the data. Clock's ticking.
These hackers are threatening to make public some embarrassing, very personal details.
Customers' sexual fantasies.
This is not a site to share recipes.
The American blogger who broke the story says the hackers targeted Ashley Madison because the company lied to its customers.
Ashley Madison had a feature called Full Delete. You would pay a $19.99 fee, and that the site would totally pull every trace of you ever having used the site from the servers.
And they were making, 1.7 million a year or something like that from just selling something that nowadays would just be an ordinary feature.
People who had paid for the paid delete feature still had, many personally identifying details that were kept in those databases on the servers.
Ashley Madison yesterday suspended fees for users who want to delete their accounts after hackers threatened to expose millions of users.
We recognized immediately that we had let down our members, even if it was just a threat to release the data that they said they had. And we did everything within our power to minimize it, but there is a notion once the pee is in the pool, you can't get it out. Our issues in relation to the events of 2015 are still an ongoing and open case. We have no information. There are no suspects, or no known suspects.
You have different sorts of hackers, right? You have the ones that are financially motivated and they clearly want to get a ransom. And then you may have activists, a combination of activist and hacker.
If you believe the Impact Team hackers, they claim to have been inside their networks for months or years. And it's fair to say that the tension and the anxiety, I think, for a lot of users was really ramping up the closer to that date that we got.
You have a website catering to cheaters. They promise to safeguard everybody's information. Turns out they break that vow, and now the adulterers are all upset. So it turns out that karma is about as much of a bitch as your soon-to-be ex-wife.
It's not often that a big company, irrespective of what they do, gets hacked that completely, and everybody's kind of like, yes.
And you can watch the fallout from the Ashley Madison affair now streaming on Hulu. Still ahead here on Prime, a woman arrested on drug charges in New York. How police say this case is linked to actor Robert De Niro's late grandson. Comedian Deon Cole talks to us about his comedy show, his new title, and the skill he picked up during the pandemic. And the summer box office battle could hinge on IMAX screens. We're going to take a look at the boost it could give at least one upcoming movie by the numbers.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
I came out of jail with a plan. I was gonna put every piece of energy I had into music.
Give it up for Jelly Roll!
If I wasn't a musician, I'd be dead.
This was my best bet to really have an impact.
I'll cry with you.
Who'd have thought I could help people? I needed help, you know, I still need help.
Somebody save me. I love you.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasured that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good. Oh, yeah, baby.
It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there. ABC News, America's #1 news source.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. The dual writers and actors strike won't stop some big budget blockbusters from hitting the silver screen in the coming weeks. And for the new film Oppenheimer, the screen may make all the difference. Let's take a look by the numbers. The Christopher Nolan drama Oppenheimer is set to open in theaters in 7 days with a star-studded cast telling the story of the creation of the atomic bomb. And Nolan insists that IMAX theaters are the best place to watch the film, which was completely shot in IMAX 65mm and large format film photography, which will be projected in 70mm on IMAX screens at 25 North American locations. The AP reports that gives the movie a resolution almost 10 times more than a standard 35mm film. And each frame of the movie has about 18,000 pixels of resolution versus an HD at-home screen, which has about 1,920 pixels, making this a big draw for fans who go out to the movies instead of streaming at home. And that's helped Oppenheimer secure some rare IMAX real estate, playing on all 401 North American IMAX screens for the first 3 weeks of its release. By contrast, the blockbuster Mission Impossible 7, which came out this week, will only play on IMAX screens for 1 week before giving up the screens to Oppenheimer, according to the media newsletter Puck. And Barbie, the other big blockbuster coming out next week, will play on 0 IMAX screens as Oppenheimer takes over. That could make a big difference with box office totals, since showings on enhanced screens like IMAX can account for as much as 30 to 40% of box office totals, according to Variety, with higher IMAX tickets bringing in more revenue. And there is much more ahead on Prime, taking matters into his own hands, why a San Francisco business owner is dressing up in black and patrolling his neighborhood, teaching kids about conservation and diversity in STEM through the eyes of a crab. Marine biologist Melissa Cristina Marquez tells us about her new children's book, and how a New York City library is honoring one of the most successful rappers of all time.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine,
Close to the front line.
from the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
We're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're gonna love it.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute.
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. A university fires its second coach in just a few days after allegations of inappropriate behavior. A woman's drug arrest, we're told, is linked to actor Robert De Niro's late grandson, and how a library is chronicling the career of a renowned rapper. These stories and more in tonight's Rundown.
Northwestern University has fired basketball coach Jim Foster. Foster's dismissal came after allegations of bullying and a toxic environment within the program, according to sources. Foster had been investigated by the university's Human Resources Department before the season. The probe found evidence Foster engaged in bullying and abusive behavior, according to a document obtained by the Chicago Tribune, and made an inappropriate comment about a female staff member. Northwestern had several coaches depart the program in February, and the team struggled to a 10-40 record. After the season, 16 players reportedly entered the transfer portal.
New York police say they've made an arrest of a young woman in connection with suspected overdose death of Robert De Niro's grandson, Leandro De Niro Rodriguez. He died earlier this month after being found unresponsive inside a residence in Manhattan.
Chinese fast fashion retailer Shein now facing a lawsuit that claims the company's copyright infringement is so aggressive it amounts to racketeering. The filing claims Shein is in violation of the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, better known as RICO, a law originally crafted to prosecute organized crime. Lawsuit is only the latest in a series of issues the company faces. In May, a bipartisan group of 24 lawmakers asked the Securities and Exchange Commission to stop an initial public offering by Shein until it verified that it does not use forced labor from the country's predominantly Muslim Uyghur population.
He's lived in San Francisco for over 20 years, and lately, instead of going by his legal name, people call him...
I'm called Boots, working from outside rather than inside.
Covering his face with a ski mask to protect his identity, Boots walks around his neighborhood, Fisherman's Wharf, looking like this and with a non-lethal gun on his waist. His goal, to scare off thieves from breaking into cars.
Criminals are getting to know us.
For years, he's captured videos of car break-ins, and now he says frustration led him to take matters into his own hands. He says he's doing it to help the area where he lives and owns a business.
The men's final at Wimbledon is now set. World number one Carlos Alcaraz is through to his first final at the All England Club. On Sunday, he'll try and stop Novak Djokovic from winning a record 24 Grand Slam singles titles.
The Jay-Z lyrics that have gone up outside the Brooklyn Public Library. What was that about? It's all part of a special exhibition chronicling the life of the influential Brooklyn native, and it opens today. It's called The Book of Hove and showcases the incredible journey and impact Jay-Z has had on the music industry and the world. The exhibit is presented in chapters similar to a book, stepping through each era of his life with visuals, audio stories, and physical artifacts. I think it's such a great idea, something to definitely check out.
Our next guest is here to talk about his latest comedic venture and new title, Dr. Deon Cole is here to discuss his new upcoming comedy show, which is called My New Normal. Dr. Deon, welcome.
Yeah.
That must be really cool. You just got this honorary degree. What was that like?
Yes. My comedy shows is called New Normal, whatever that I do at clubs and stuff, whatever. But yeah, I have this new doctorate, Dr. Deon Cole. It's crazy.
It's got a nice sound, though, doesn't it?
It sounds so great.
Alliteration and everything.
Yeah, my friends, they're sick of it already.
I bet they are. You need to call me Dr. Deon now. I guarantee I can hear that.
I don't answer to nothing else.
So My New Normal, the show, getting back in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
What can people expect? Because I'm a fan of your comedy, and I know what I'm going to see.
Yeah.
We're going to see more of that, or you're doing something different?
Yeah, so with my new comedy show, where I'm just like doing my shows that I'm doing comedy at, there's just me bracing on my new normal. I went through a whole lot over the past few years or whatever, and like losing my mom and everything. And so I was just letting people know how my new normal is now, you know, and just how I reflect and how I see things and how I move differently and just different observations in life as far as, you know, with just, you know, being a black man in America, you know, and so, just embarking on that and, you know, being older now and, just having fun with it, man.
Well, I will never look at a battery the same way. Because now when I go to the store, I'm looking for the B battery, but it's never there.
I know, it's never there. And they will not come out with it.
It's never there. They will not come out with it. And you said you wouldn't buy it anyway.
I know, I wouldn't buy it anyway, but I'm just...
If you guys haven't seen that joke, you need to see that joke. Let me ask you a question, because you're right. I think the best comedy comes out of observations and your personal observations with who you are.
Yeah.
Was it tough coming? Look, I know you started DJing during the pandemic. I want to talk about that. But with the loss of your mother, and I'm sorry, I didn't know that.
Thank you.
How do you then get funny? Like, how do you do that?
Well, you channel everything into like the loss of my mother, and anyone who has a loss, you should also use their energy in order to, you know, instead of mourning them, use them to start your day or whatever, or be a part of your day.
So like make your mom's energy.
Yeah, make their name a password or name something after them that you do every day or something, and that keeps that energy going. Whatever, you know. I pray and then talk to my mom every day, and just I know she's looking over me and after me.
A lot of people did a lot of things during the pandemic to take up the time. My son taught himself guitar. You started DJing.
Yeah.
Is it something you always wanted to do?
I always wanted to, and I had the equipment, but I didn't have the time.
Right.
So the time met, and so I tried it, and everybody was like, "Don't quit your day job. You're horrible."
Right.
And then I just kept doing it, and then after a while, you know, certain DJs would send me music, and then like other greats would send me music. You know, Terry Lewis from Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, he sent me some music one time, and I was like, oh, okay, this is something's different happening right now.
I've got to ask you this because I have you here, and part of what you do, you're an actor. SAG-AFTRA on strike right now. I know you're not part of negotiations. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty. I just want to know what your hope is.
You wouldn't have nobody if it wasn't for the script.
Right.
You have to pay the writer for writing it, and then you got to pay the actor for portraying this. This is how you all make your money. It doesn't make sense to me that they would just constantly, you know, not pay people, you know. And I know they're not going to pay us enough to be their neighbors, but you can pay us to go to sleep well at night. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
and the whole streaming world has made it like...
And it's crazy because everything's going up. Inflation's going up. Even certain, you know, sites and stuff in theaters and all this, their prices are going up. Everybody's prices is going up, but you don't want to pay the writer and the actor.
Your show stops in Gary, Indiana on what, July 28th?
Yeah.
Wondering where else if people want to see you, what's happening?
I'll be in Niagara Falls on the 28th, and then Gary on the 29th. I will be in Vegas on the 19th, and then I will be in Detroit the 4th and the 5th, and then I got more and more dates coming up, man. You can go to DeonCole.com, get a ticket, come support and have some fun, hug me, I hug you. We just have a good time.
Free hugs
Free
at
hugs.
Dr. Deon
Free hugs at
shows.
Dr. Deon Cole show.
Man, well, I'm a fan of your comedy. This was so great. I really enjoyed
pleasure
meeting
you
This
too,
was
man.
so wonderful.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
coming
much,
in.
man. Thanks for having me.
Deon Cole, we appreciate it. And two giant jackpots worth nearly $1.5 billion combined. Tonight's Mega Millions drawing, now $560 million, making the cash option $287 million. Tomorrow's Powerball jackpot even bigger. It's now worth $875 million. The cash option stands at more than $452 million. That'd be nice. Our next guest takes us on a journey to La Playita del Condado in Puerto Rico, where a crab named Haiba gives a young girl named Melly a glimpse into the beautiful ocean and a glimpse into her future. Melissa Cristina Marquez is a marine biologist and a Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree, and she melded important topics like conservation and diversity in STEM in her autobiographical new children's book, Mother of Sharks, which is beautifully illustrated as well. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Australia, so I guess it's good Saturday morning to you. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
Let's start with the book. Haiba takes us on a journey. What does Haiba teach us about sharks here?
Haiba teaches us that the diversity of sharks is really important. You know, a lot of people, when they think of sharks, they think of great whites, tigers, bulls, hammerheads, all really cool, all really important species. But there's over 500 different ones. So he introduces us to a few of the ones you probably haven't heard of before.
Right, and I just think what's neat as a person who grew up in the age of Jaws, that the way you do this book, it makes sharks relatable and not scary, which is obviously a good thing for children. I mean, you're a remarkable marine biologist. You've been a presenter on Shark Week. You're a regular contributor writing about sharks and conservation. So why a children's book for you this time around?
Children are the future, and at that age, they are starting to form their opinions about different animals. And so I thought, you know, kind of get in early, beat the Jaws sort of craze, And, you know, they're too young to watch the Meg too. So this is a great way of kind of just beating them before they see any of the scary stuff to kind of open them up to a little bit of awe about sharks.
And not for nothing, but I'm realizing that I was a bit too young to watch Jaws when I saw it for the first time.
Same.
Seriously, this book has some pretty serious wisdom. And you write, and we'll quote it, female researchers, especially those of color, are like female sharks lurking in the darkness. We're here, but no one is paying attention. We can't be what we can't see. When did you realize that? You're living a dream and that people who might be inspired, who see you?
I was really young when I realized that there weren't that many Latina marine biologists on TV. So I always wondered whether I could be that growing up. And so once I got to college and I had little girls kind of reaching out to me through all the science communication channels that I had, being like, oh, I want to be you when I grow up. I was like, oh, I have the chance to be what I wanted to see. And so, yeah, I think it's really important that this book not only highlights the diversity of sharks, but also the diversity of the people who study sharks and just showcases that there's so many people that you don't see on TV of different colors, of different backgrounds and genders that do study these animals in some sort of capacity.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. The more we see it, the more we don't need to yearn to see it, which is great. What are some of the ways STEM, in your opinion, STEM and conservation could do better in regards to diversity? Because oftentimes from the outside, it doesn't necessarily look diverse.
Yeah, that's true. I think probably one of the easiest ways that STEM could be better is that representation. So having people of diverse backgrounds and genders be in those leadership roles and have them be prevalent and visible in those leadership roles. Because as you said, you can't be what you can't see. And so it's really hard to dream about having a job or holding a position if you don't even know if that's possible for yourself.
So the book is a great read for anyone, even if you are a bit afraid of sharks. What conversations, though, do you hope this book sparks between kids and parents?
I really hope it sparks the conversation that no matter where you're from, your dreams are valid and you can dream as big as you want. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm from a small Caribbean island that over here in Australia, people are like, oh, is that in Europe? So I feel like if a girl from a small Caribbean island can do it, you can too. And so I hope it sparks this conversation about representation and diversity of not just science, but also of sharks and showcases them in a different light that makes us think about them in a little different way.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a metaphor for how we should see people, right? That's an absolute metaphor for it. Yeah, and it's a beautiful book. I have it. I don't have it in front of me, but we're gonna show everybody. It's illustrated so beautifully. The colors are wonderful, as well as the sentiment. Melissa Cristina Marquez, thank you so much for your time on this, your Saturday morning. Her book, Mother of Sharks, is available wherever books are sold. And that's our show for tonight. I'm Phil Lipoff. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. And you can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and, of course, abcnews.com. Good night.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much.